Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. It's Shirley with Spirit of Matter. And this episode is talking a little bit about the Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle that we're going to have as of this year and 2025 and a little bit of 2026. And touching and emphasizing on those who have Ra and Ketu, okay, North Node, South Node, reversal or return. So reversal happens every 9 years. If you have North Node or South Node in Virgo and or Pisces, then basically you will be experiencing either your nodal reversal, okay, where the nodes are opposite where they were, or nodal return. So those of you who are around 18 or 36 or 18 from 36 50s, nee, 36 46 56, yes, that would be 58, around the 60s. You will be having a nodal return at this time. And then for those of you who are, 9, then 27, and so on, you will be having a nodal reversal. So let's just talk first of all for everybody. What is this eclipse cycle with Virgo and Pisces? Virgo and Pisces, I'm going to get to the particular eclipses in future videos, but I want to give you the overall energy. What are the themes that are going to come up? So Jupiter is going to be from Gemini to Cancer, or perhaps a little bit of Leo. This is ruling Pisces. Mercury is moving way faster. And the axis of Virgo Pisces, we have mutable land and basically the waters of the grand vast ocean. You want to think about the type of land that is around the water, and it moves. Pisces is the blending of the all that is. Here's the primordial waters, or the waters before conception. And Virgo is the details, the breaking down to size in the most micro management possible. Okay, so this is our chemistry, whereas Pisces would be our waves, our channeling, art, communication, mediumship, fishing, very long distance travel, pilgrimage, religious experiences that cannot be described with words or poetry. Virgo is going to be the guidebook. It's going to be the manager of something. It's going to be of service to people, and is going to do with herbs, chemistry, anything that you have to, by the skill of analysis, offer service. So that can be data management, but it can also be types of consultations, whether it's business or even astrology. Okay. Both of them are off the mutable axis. So ever changing, refining, adaptable. Whereas the polarity is between Earth, where Virgo is Earth that moves, so it constantly wants to lean on something, and Pisces is the ocean. So you want to think about a person leaning into the ocean, they might not get the expected support, But also you want to think about the ocean constantly breaking into the water, into the soil, and flooding it. So Virgo is adaptable, and also the Pisces polarity wouldn't get that stability that that perhaps an earth sign could offer. Another place where the polarity works is the details of something, needing information, breaking it down to technique, and the whole picture. Okay, for example, conversation I had today as I was buying some essential oil, LME, for those who are interested. And a couple of women were debating what oil to put for something. And I asked where does this arise from? Where's the problem arises from? It's the right foot, the left foot. Maybe was worried about the parents, worried about siblings, and so on. She's like, how do you know all this? Well, it's very simple. There are two schools. One school where the shop was, they were studying only the chemical components of essential oils. The other group where I studied, we study the holistic experience of what does this oil do, and a little bit of holistic medicine. Okay, my knowledge is mainly self-taught, but I did go through the certification needed. And so what I was bringing was the Pisces polarity. Why does it happen? Where is the big picture? Okay, the knowledge she had was, I know this component, I know that component, and Virgo Pisces bring together the particular, the micro, and the all that is. This is where also the difficulty arises, as one sees the trees and one sees the cosmos. It's not even the forest, it's the cosmos. So when we talk about Rahu going into Pisces, we are purging the micromanagement. We are purging the details. We are purging the accuracy of what frequency, what specific thing, what this, what that, and we're moving towards a more blended, holistic, but also confusing realm of imagination. Okay, those of you who do science, then you want to think about the imagination, the dream that you have, and then you go and explore things with experience, with channeling, with mediumship, with art. Okay, this is Pisces world. Whereas the Virgo is, we make a double blind, I call it double blind spot experience, experiment, yes, a double blind spot experiment on this and this and this and this and this. And you know what patient takes one medication? Yes, well, they cannot, ANOVA does not account for that. And so also in the good news perhaps is that we're going to move more towards the holistic type of statistics, the statistics type branches that try to imitate deep learning, that try to bring the model of the traditional Chinese medicine and the more holistic types of medicine, and try to explore things that bring place to the experience, to the dream, to the non-linear. The difficulty is that with Rahu, we are always hungry for something, and there can be many biases. Okay, when I did my channeling experience, so for 6 months, every move that I made was channeled. I got a lot of great things. I also got bullying, I got psychic attack, I got misleading information. Okay, I got what you get. Okay, when you try these things, and you still have to sift and sort through information. And the Virgo is trying to bring an analytical approach. So Virgo with South Node, we are both purging the analytical approach, But we also receive deep wisdom from those types of analysis. Okay, so you want to think about one good Virgo ascendant is Richard Feynman. And Richard Feynman was classic Virgo who would break things down to size. Okay, it was not Albert Einstein that talked about the imagination is more important. And so, yes, Feynman took psychedelics. He did special things to get into those altered states, to what we call channeling, to activate those weird stuff. But his competence was taking something and breaking it down to size, to the components, so that you can explain it to a 5-year-old child. Okay, and to really get at the essence of something beyond the name of the phenomena. This ancient wisdom, you are still bringing it, because Ketu is also where your comfort zone is. And wherever Ketu is, even if by transit, we are receiving the older knowledge, the ancient knowledge. We are able to connect things that we were not able to connect before, simply because there's a Ketu there. Okay? We're leaning back to something that was of the old, but also moving forward fatedly to something that is of the new, and we are purging the old way of doing things. Okay, if you want to be using analysis or statistics and let's say medicine or chemistry or pharmaceutical, you don't want to use a nova, because a nova is the approximation of a nova. I will liken it in astrology. Tom Jacobs. I keep calling him Tom Waits. Tom Jacobs. Okay, he talks about Lilith. He works with true Lilith. There are 4 Liliths, and he works with true Lilith. And he says to ask about, to look for information about Lilith from Black Moon Lilith is like to ask a woman doll what a woman is. Okay, like a sex doll, what a woman is. Okay, to go with a nova and ask of what the human being will respond to so and so substance is very much like to, yes, have a robot and ask what the human being is like, ask the robot. Okay, at least do deep learning, at least do machine learning, at least adopt an algorithm is a bit deeper, and it requires an approach to medicine that is already taken from holistic medicines. So we're going to see the advances that we actually want to see. At the same time, the co-presence of Saturn in a part of this axis is still going to give us a big reality check as to what we can achieve when we go all imagination. Okay? And so you get really unreasonable stuff. And some of these unreasonable stuff are very logical and they work, and some of this unreasonable stuff are really out there. It really is going down the rabbit hole of whatever is chemistry, healing practices, even astrology. Okay? It's going down the rabbit hole of the reality and the imagination. Yes, when it comes to traveling. Okay, so this is already asking you also about applied science. Yes, or the airplane that you fly. Would you like a person to imagine it, or would you like an engineer that will know how to make it work? Yes, but if the whistleblowers are assassinated, the whistleblowers is also Pisces. If they're assassinated, then you will eventually get an imagination of a plane that you will for real be flying if you need to go somewhere. And yeah, for many people that's exciting, but especially for the whistleblowers, it's like, hey, they don't have to die alone. They take an entire 747, or they get presidential plane with the same thing. I mean, they wouldn't let the whistleblower whistleblow, so off they go. Same as was with Saturn And Saturn still giving Saturn is still giving the orcas that took the yachts down. Okay, it has this equilibrium. Okay, this is the consequences for so and so. Okay, it's the consequences of this line of work. And in Pisces, because it is the depth of the ocean, so you'd see very beautiful things incarnating, and as well death and challenges and decay, and sad, really sad things happening. So the conjoining of this extreme type of things that Pisces is the all that is. Leaking is another Pisces. Leaking is another Pisces word. Whether it's spies, whether it's the kind of person that just won't shut up. Okay, the kind of person that is interested in the mystery, but can go from completely being silent and introverted to a chatterbox. Okay, the duality of Pisces. The type of person that keeps no secrets and all secrets. Okay, this type of mystery, but also leaks. Okay, and so those leaks are going to be fated. If you think Julian Assange was a story, wait until Rao gets into Pisces. Espionage, WHO, you know how many assassinations was WHO involved with? Now we have it from the court system. So we get the court system being purged and changing and so on. But you know how many, all the doctors, where are all the doctors that were assassinated with COVID? We don't hear about them. What, you think all the doctors wanted to inject slow-mo execution to yourself every couple of months and call it boost? Reboot the person? Okay? No. But where are these doctors? What happened to them? Some of them homeless, some of them died, some of them sick, some of them kidnapped. We don't know. But Pisces is going to leak some information. Like, here are the doctors. When I heard on the other day on Twitter, a doctor calling on, she said, where are the doctor whistleblowers? I'm like, you out of your mind? Let's commemorate the people that are no longer with us and we don't have their name. Because they exist. Because they were not allowed to continue. Let's do something for the whistleblowers instead of, where are the doctors? Okay, so for every person that you see taking a position of evil, understand there were 6, 7, 10, 20 doctors that left the job, that quitted, that were fired, that were assassinated, and so on and so on and so forth and so forth. So the great leaks, spies and espionage. Okay, the offer for Prime Minister for Netherlands is a chief spy. That was his job, chief spy. So we have espionage versus leaks versus, yes, journalism, because Mercury is also journalism. We have to be accurate and on the detail. That will proceed to be. Pisces is also the story that bears, okay, for when you want to, let's say, tell a certain truth, but you cannot tell it, so you tell a story. That is, yes, we can say possible things that so-and-so government could say, could do, and you just whistleblow, okay? This is those type of things as well. They can also bear a satirical, the satire of Pisces is not so much in your face as, let's say, Aries. Here, Aries is got the rhymes to incite. But with Pisces is more malleable, is more gray, is more, okay, there's another layer with Pisces. It's kind of like telling a joke in between the water, so you see the bubbles. about the patterns of the bubbles, and you see the lips, but you don't really know what is being said. And we're going to have a lot of that for sure with our communications as well. Communication is the other polarity, is Virgo. Pisces is where everybody's right. Everybody has an experience, and to some degree is true, but to some degree is completely not true. Okay? The limited things for when you can say, this is my experience, this is your experience. Okay, imagine, well, definitely, I think United States had an experience that somebody violated the Espionage Act for publishing war crimes in Afghanistan and Iraq. And for that person, you say, well, this is my experience. You say, this is my experience. No, there's something else going on here. Speaking about Assange, so we'll probably see more such things, more such leaks, more such stories that will come out. The mystery with Pisces is like this battle that is, the telos is that the secret in the battle will be unbottled and will fly to the shore, will come back to the shore. We just don't know when. Maybe, and it feels like maybe it will be dragged to the bottom of the ocean. Yes, maybe some scientist will will implode on the way to try and bring it, or will find something accidentally. Okay, there's this, all that is with Pisces, that is the great vast. It can be very confusing, but also clarity and truth can arise like from nowhere. Miracle healing can arise like from nowhere. And it's always good to tend to the longings. Around Pisces, the longings that people have will come to the forefront, wherever Pisces is by you. Okay? It can be something really stupid, okay? Really superficial, or it can be something very, very deep. Okay? And the superficial and the deep and the duality between them can be marvelous when it comes to Pisces. There is a lot of surrender required when it comes to Pisces. It's the sign that is tending also to alcohol, to addictions, to drugs. And you think about the duality around that, okay? Whereas the PTSD or the cancer patient that needs to go to the dealer because what they get from the government is not good, the weed. It's not good, it's not the correct material. But the drug dealer across the street, they know. They give them the good material. Okay? That's Pisces. That's Pisces. But it's also the slow-mo execution, the right to people. They say, yes, you have depression, it's no problem. You take this antipsychotic. What? Oh, don't read the label, it's nothing. You take this, it's okay. But I'm shaking like this, and I cannot this, and I cannot. Oh, no, it's not from the pill. Okay? But you have to take it the rest of your life, otherwise you will have psychic attack. But I never had psychic attack. I was telling the truth. It's what happened to me. I ran from this place, but there was violence, and there was this, and there was that. Yes, this was your experience. Okay? But if you take this pill, this will correct this experience. And so, in Israel, they had a problem. If you think Israel is bad only to Palestinians, no, it starts from within. The hospitals, okay, there were a lot of souls in the hospitals, in the psychic wards. And what the Ministry of Health said, yes, it's a part of the disease that they imagine they are being assaulted at the hospital. Okay? This is the medicine that they leave to themselves. Okay, Pisces is reminding us this. Okay, Stalin killed all the doctors. He had no doctor. Hitler had Dr. Mengele. He killed himself. There is who smuggled Dr. Mengele? Up they. And that brings me to another point. Pisces is also liquid assets, liquidity. People are gonna want to cash in and liquidate their assets, especially with Saturn in Pisces. And then it was like the Swiss bank asking, what money? Okay, if you've been doing tax evasion, if everything was on the trust and you say to the world, I own nothing and I am happy, and everything is on the trust, you have a mega yacht, you go with the Epstein Island here, with the Epstein Island there, but on video, whatever you have to do, and then the trust comes and tell you, well, guess what, you're right. You own nothing. Access blocked, everybody puts the film, you're over with his kids, now everybody hates you, you've got a reason to, nobody know how you got there, maybe you were SR8, maybe you were born into these families, and so on. And you're right, yes, you own nothing and you're happy. So it's very important for these medicines to understand, okay, whatever you do with the this, with the that, this is your medicine. Yes, aromatherapy. When I started learning aromatherapy, if I would give essential oil blend to someone, the first drop I take myself and I hear what energy, what am I receiving, then I write it down. Why? If I don't take it myself, how do I know what medicine I give? They might react to it differently, it's true. But it's my own medicine. I need to taste my own medicine. If I have a taste of my own medicine, I know I did something good. I know I did something not so good. If I don't test it, I cannot expect anybody to take it. What happens if all of these doctors are going to take their own medicine? Rowing Pisces. Rowing Pisces. Imagination, playing on imagination, you're imagining, you're this, you're that. A lot of things can come with that. Some of them beautiful, miraculous healing. Some of them the other way around, okay? And so it is confusing. It's the juxtaposition of two fishes that swim in different directions, connected by we don't even know what. Okay, this is why it's mutable. It's not the stability, the fixed, but it's also very changeable. The fish is very slippery. And so this is also where people might slip away, get away with things. So this can also to do with crime. But also if you need to slip away, if you need to be invisible, if you need to, one of the things that came to me if I was thinking today was how, a broker leaks itself outside of the pyramid, becomes like a pool where it's hot outside with the bull, but they're outside and the pyramid is rotting from the inside. Okay, those who are smart are leaking themselves, and they are able to, because it's very difficult, are getting out of the cults. Now, Pluto in Aquarius is coming. One way or another, Pluto in Aquarius is coming. So, Pisces is very slippery. Try to catch a Pisces, they have many experiences. What you say is valid, of course. Compassionate, or they're busy. Okay, Pisces can also is the kind of disease that is difficult to diagnose. I was talking about work. I was talking about my own experience where I was able to walk but not able to stand. I was not able to speak, but I was able to sing. Okay. Those things that aim at the hidden facet. It's both the situation where you think a person is making themselves sick, but they actually are not lying because it seems weird to you. I even saw shorts of videos of people with disability that they have a wheelchair, and some days they need the wheelchair and some days they don't need the wheelchair. And I was like, oh wow, I'm not the only one who had weird disabilities. Yes, you're not with wheelchair, but you see the malleable form and the dynamic form of a disability or disease or medical situation. Okay, but for others it can seem like the person that is pretending to be sick. Because Pisces can also be the person that's that, where you also need to do compassion and see what's going underneath. Compassion is a big word with Pisces. And then there is also If you go back to the Virgo side, okay, so you can be compassionate, doesn't necessarily mean that you can accommodate if it's like an intimate partner or something like that. This is for the cycle, okay? We're moving towards a phase that is inherently confusing, but also creative, and deep, and shallow. And we are regaining wisdom about, the double blind thing, it's a double blind spot thing, and it doesn't actually do medicine. Hey, this ANOVA model is not even the correct analysis, not even the way to do this science, okay? So we're going to be getting a lot of good stuff. Hey, that specific model is what Feynman called the cult-like medicine. It's the image, it's the dream of what this research looks like. It's not exact analysis, because you get this ancient wisdom. The word cult-like sciences, you're going to hear it and you're going to hear it again. Okay? But then you go back and you say, oh, this very fuzzy logic, like, let's say, astrology. Okay? Oh, there are actually patterns here that do work. It's just not 1 + 1 = 2. It's a non-linear dynamic system that also has an appeal to, I don't know, spirit or something like that, if you really want to bring together the Rao and the Ketu, which you should. And so we're going to be having fated changes to the science of the nanosciences, the chemical, the pharmaceutical, the chemical sciences, and thus engineering, technology, and also the arts, the imagination, the religion or religions. Okay, there's the requirement to have diversity in religions. People are going to be hungry for that. With Rao in Aries, people want the one logic all across the board, okay? You cannot justify pedophilia with your culture. Fuck your culture if you rape kids. Fuck your culture, okay? That's very Aries. With Pisces, it's like, hey, I have my way to do spirituality. You have your way to do spirituality, okay? If I read it from this book or from that book, and I practice gratitude in in English, and you practice gratitude in Sufi, yes, we say different words, but we are entitled to say them in different languages. So this is where we do call for the duality, call for the diversity, and call for tolerance. However, funnily enough, the duality is also in the sense of to call like a one world religion. All encompassing Neptune, okay, all encompassing. Yes, Neptune is associated with Pisces. People are waiting for Neptune to when Neptune was in Aquarius, what happened? The nervous system of everybody was together, preparing us for the Neptune Pisces. One person would get angry at Germany, another person in Palestine would feel like they don't know where to put themselves. Why? Because this other person is angry. And then you feel the nervous system for the other person. You start acting funny. Okay? Neptune, when it was in Aquarius, that's what it was doing. One consciousness. Malleable nervous system. And then it got all the way Pisces. Or whatever is Pisces for you, okay? So strangely enough, you're like, oh, this is the astral field, and this is the etheric field, and this is the this, and this is the that. First in Aquarius, it was more dogmatic, okay? I'm having this mood, and then the other person speaks to me in the same mood that I have. It's like, what happened to you? What happened to me? What happened to us? What is going on? Well, that was Neptune. That's what Neptune tends to do. It brings the all, and the all there is making things viral. It did it before it went to Pisces. It's going to do it after it goes to Pisces. And here is identity, okay? How many people are going to have the same fingerprint when Neptune hits Pisces? For the Neptune Saturn, the entire world. Okay? That's just the way of things. Facial recognition. How many people are going to try to log? It was a satire in Israel where the person tries to get to the bank through facial recognition, and he tries to figure out what face was he doing, because when he was recording the original face, he was sneezing. So he was trying to force a sneeze in order to get that face so it would get him into his bank account. Neptune hasn't even Aries yet. Aries is the face. So now, after we've done a good 35 minutes of beginning to grapple with the themes, let's talk about those of you who are having Rahu and Ketu returns and reversals. What is Rahu and Ketu? North node, south node, okay? In evolutionary astrology, where you've been, Ketu. Been there, done that. This is why this place is less physically manifesting for you. I happen to have Ketu in career. Yes, I have big achievements, but not necessarily big monetary achievements for me, because it's Ketu. I've been there, done that. I've been in the higher ups, I guess, somewhere along my past life, according to these views. Okay? Where I haven't been is to own a house, to manage a house, to this, to that. I would literally have a person from the welfare sitting with me while I fold my clothes and talk about the philosophy of this, the philosophy of that and that. And they don't help you to fold the clothes because you have to learn how to do it yourself. I'm not joking. That's Rahu and Ketu. Where Rahu is where you haven't been to, but there comes a time in your life where you're eager to be at. And when I was a child, indeed, I was dreaming about houses and woods and houses made of woods and so on. And now I think about nervous system supportive housing, where you grow a house in the trees, but you don't have to cut the trees, so you're part of the nervous system of the forest. I'm cuckoo, what can I say? I've never been there. Okay, what am I going to do with the bears? I don't know. We'll need a gun. I'm going to sleep with a gun. I don't know. Going to have to do with the bears. I have no idea. Okay, you have this idea. You're hungry to experience something. And it's not necessarily that experiencing it in the physical life is going to give you this grand epiphany, but you're meant to do that in this life. You're meant to go there. And so for those of you who experience the nodal return, where your Rahu is, where you're meant to go, what you're meant to do, this is a time where no more excuses. Okay, for me, when Rahu is in my 4th house, or eclipses in Gemini, Rahu Gemini, I was living in 1-room apartment, and I say I'm half Israeli, but other nationality is Dutch. And I lived in Israel because there was no chance I could get housing in Netherlands, even though I'm entitled to public housing there. Bureaucracy, but it's also not good for my chart, I recently learned. So what happened is I lived in 1-room apartment. I thought in Netherlands I would never get more. I was stuck in this 1-room apartment. I said, needed to move to a bigger place, I didn't see why. Okay, and then they came the eclipses. I became freaking homeless. I had to move. Later I found a place that was very beautiful and so on and so forth. But that was creepy. And for career, not useful. Was not able to make money through career to support housing enough. So I had to have housing independent of the ability to work. Why? Because I'm meant to bring that to the world. Housing first. supportive of nervous system. I'm meant to do that. Yes, this is how person I thought, with all my skills, with all my education, with all my privileges, how come I found myself in this place? Well, that's life. Yes, corruption is true, but it's also life. Yes, because for me it was not safe to live. The relocational chart would put the ruler of my house on the degree of to kill and be killed in the 11th house. So we have a house that's known for murder. Okay, that's not so good. Israel is a bit diminishing that. Maybe other countries better for the relocation chart. I would need to see. But let's say Pisces is not your 4th house. Whatever you meant, what your soul is going to experience in this life, the eclipses are going to push you towards that. And whether it's going to be pleasant or not, depends both on the eclipse cycle, on your natal chart, overall what you're doing, attitude, whatever. And so this is the time for you to first of all get into where is my north node, what house it is, what planet rules it. For this case for you is Jupiter. If it's nodal return, where is my Jupiter? Where is my soul going? What area in my life I haven't been in yet? Let's say Rahu is in your 7th house. Okay, you never had a relationship before. Never had. You were soulless. Maybe you were a monk. I don't know. Or maybe you didn't live long enough to marry. So you never done this before, but you're meant to go there. And so you could also be compassionate, Pisces, towards yourself. It's like, of course, because my soul never did that before. And not only that, you will have to learn from people that did that, but with Rahu, sometimes what they will teach you will not be relevant for our time so much. So it depending on, I have conjoining Rahu in Chiron, which means that I have to pave my own path. But I came here to invent. So if you look at what the housing is, of course the world is like this. But if not with Chiron, it just means you've not been there. So you can be compassionate with yourself. Why all my friends marrying? I am first marriage, second marriage. Why am I not marrying? Okay, if all things are okay, it's very likely because of this Rahu, you just didn't do it in your past life, and right now you're eager to, or you're afraid of, but towards your 40s, you get more into your Rahu. And right now at the Rahu return, you're having another phase. Still, Rahu matures at around 40, 42. So it takes a while. Okay, look, I'm 40. I'm talking about nervous system, supportive housing whistleblowers, and so on. Housing first. Yes, my Rahu is beginning to mature up. But now you only have your Rahu return, which means you still focus on that. It's not yet the maturation. Okay, so you want to be compassionate with yourself. If you understand that you haven't been there before, it's a skill you need to learn. Okay, and you want to see why Jupiter is ruling not only Pisces but also Sagittarius. Okay, for me, if opposite, where Mercury is ruling not only Gemini, where my Rahu is, but also Virgo for relationships. So it can be good advisor for other people for relationship, but sometimes at the time I said I'm not doing these astrology readings for relationship because I'm sick of seeing people being happy together. I don't have relationships. It's annoying. I need another product. Okay, enough with that. And I discovered I have a Rahu and the Chiron. The Chiron is a 50-year timestamp and the Rahu is a 40. Okay, 40 something. So it takes a while to mature. And so even though it's not the same house, so you want to see where your Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is also affected by this Rahu. There's 2 houses, and you want to see where your Jupiter is. Could also be 3 houses, if not in Pisces and Sagittarius. Yeah, for me, it's in Aries, the house of income, for heaven's sakes. The income I make from a script, the housing, partner, and income, all tied in together with the Chiron in the midst. They're like, you're so talented, you're so this. how come you're not filthy rich? Well, I'm not in the cult, but I only know to say it now because I wasn't. With Aries, you're not the type to make excuses for yourself. Okay, which is not bad, but it can also be self-destructive for you. You obviously need to understand what the situation is before you try to, you go your naive way, yes, but you also need to tackle the challenges. If you don't know what are the challenges, you can't tackle them sometimes. And they fall like a tower of cards when you do, because by the time you didn't make excuses for yourself, you got what there really is, and that was not falling apart like a tower of cards. For Pisces, it's more confusing. Okay, so you want to know if it's a nodal return. Where's my Pisces house? Where's my Sagittarius house? Where's my Jupiter? All of these houses are tied into my Rahu, to my North Node, to where I've never been before. Never been before. So if I take it again from my chart, it would be Mercury. It would be, even though the Rahu is in the 4th house, never owned a house, never had a family. Never did those things. Yes, but also my 7th house, never did things, never had a partner, never married. But also the 2nd house, never had my own income. I don't know who I was a teacher and I was at a high position in society, okay? I don't know who I was. Where's my Ketu in the 10th house? I was ahead of something, maybe a parent somehow, but I didn't have my own family, or didn't have my own housing. I was not married, or in one-to-one partnership, and I didn't have my own income. I didn't do this before. I don't know, maybe I was a wife that was taking care for a maiden, but it's 10th house in Jupiter, so fallen Jupiter, but it's very weird. Who I was, I don't know. Maybe some monk, I have no idea. Astrologer, probably, because Uranus is co-present there. And so for you need to understand those places, all these houses, you've never done this before. So be compassionate with yourself. It's not to disappoint you, but because you already see, it's like, why am I 36 or 8? Okay, why am I 18? I don't even want to date. Or why am I 18? I don't even feel like getting out of my home, my parents' house or having income. Or I feel like it, but I see the world and it's crushing me down. Or why am I 36? I still did not have children. Or why am I 36? I still have not separated from the notion of my big parent when it comes to my career or my legacy or my public reputation. Okay? If you know, for example, children that are the children of, then the 10th house is also father or mother. So if they see you, they say, oh, I see this person, I see that, and that's your parent. Okay, now you're going to have to take a step forward to establish your own individual identity, where you have to step out of the boss, the parent, the guru, the teacher. Okay? But now it's your own. This is a part of what this Rahu does. And it's also ruled by Jupiter. What is Jupiter? It's children, it's life philosophy. It can have to do with law, not like Libra, but more like the philosophy of law or your worldview. Not necessarily litigation, I think, is more Mars. Saturn is in Pisces, so there can be about debt, taxation, stuff like that. Drugs affiliated stuff. Okay, I wouldn't think to say that, but when I understand corruption, no, a lot of businesses are involved with drug cartels or pushing drugs. When it's Netherlands, you see lawyers you pay them with 50 euros and 100 grams of white. Okay. And I'm like, I've never seen anything like it. This is so weird to me. But apparently it's working like this. So if it's for you and you have such business, then perhaps there is some sort of something to do with that. And maybe this is hypocritical. It's like everybody do it, but they try to pinpoint you because you've never been there before and you don't even know to stand for yourself in this situation. Or maybe it's true, okay, maybe they genuinely abolish it all across the board and you're a part of that all across the board. So that's to do with drugs, WHO, all these things that are related, leaking of information, okay, leaking of information. Yes, and because you've never done this before, you've never been there before, then you don't know what to do. And now you are pushed to have another experience where you try, where you learn, and could also fail, but it's a part of your learning experience. Yes? Now for the nodal reversals. So nodal reversals, this is funny because this is where up is down and down is up. Your soul is meant to go to Rahu, gain wisdom from the past, but manifest materially where Rahu is, where the node is. But now up is down and down is up. So what can be? Maybe you have manifested materially and now it's taken away from you. And you think, why the F is this happening? Why? Because Ketu is putting you to detach from the art of detachment. Okay? For example, let's say you have, let's say it's money. Okay, so you manifested a big amount of money, or you invested a big investment, you made your life insurance, so and so and so, boom, financial crisis comes. And like, what am I supposed to do? Well, you were supposed to understand that financial crises will be, and still account for that in your plan for this Rahu. Okay? For example, for me, it was important for me to understand that housing must be independent of the ability to work. Must be. It's important. It was very important for me to understand, because when I tried to work, even when I got housing, I was not able to physically work. And I was like, damn, I'm not the only person in this situation. There's wars, there is this, there is that. We must have housing independent of ability to work, the supportive of a nervous system and making right choices in life, to have good relations, so you have a chance at. And that was like, that's the housing first. Was practicing in Finland, but with the house design of what the, those innovators Dutchies do in the forest there, because that's kind of like the idea. And still must be refinement and so on. But I had to understand, it's not just to get the housing, a cabin made of woods, big houses like in America. I didn't even know in America it's like this. Then me, the child, was dreaming about, I was like, I want a house like this and so on. My mama told me, but it's going to be all moldy. Yes, we're in Israel. It's going to be all moldy. I don't know how to treat mold. Okay, you have to. Yes, but if it's a tree that grows in the forest and the ecosystem, it heals itself. Hopefully, I don't know, I never done this, I never tried this. I will have to try that. This is what the nodal reversal is doing, is a refinement on kind of like your invention, on what you're doing in this life. This is if you have Rahu in, Rahu in Virgo, this is where you could get divorced or separated. Like, I got married. I got married. Everybody was silent. My mama was silent, but I got married. Why are we separating? Okay, I didn't know that such a thing could happen. Like, you get married, you're married. Why are we separate? What is going on? Okay, it's a part of the things. And I was like, oh my gosh, to get married, you have to stay married. I didn't know you have to stay married. I want to stay married. I don't know how to do that, okay? That is what the nodal reversal is doing. It's the refinement of the energy. If you could get it to another house, so let's say you started a degree in something, now You find out you don't like, you can't do it, you need to switch degrees, or you take a break from university. Okay? Why is fated? It's a part of the things that you try, and then eventually, when Rahu comes, okay, in about 9 to 12 years, you're gonna have a nodal return yourself. And that is another moving forward with the energy, the hunger. Okay? But now, you're not hungry. It can also be with, let's say, it's your goals in life. Let's say it's your dreams, you incarnated in dreams, and you have Virgo in the 11th house. Now you have Ketu coming in. You're dispassionate. You don't feel like manifesting your dreams. It's like, what the fuck is going on? This was my dream. This was my passion. What is going on? Well, you're taking a break. You're taking a step back to refine your dream, to learn your dream, to detach from the hunger, from the eagerness. And then, let's say, maybe you're having a child. Okay, maybe you will say, okay, I don't know, I'm feeling dispassionate. And you're like, okay, let's try another hobby. Try something, go to some group, do something casual. You date someone casual and you fall in love and you have a baby. But I was perfected because it's Rahu in the 5th. Those are the type of things, again, that you can experience. And there is always going to be the themes of Pisces and Virgo. Okay, so the trees and the oceanic ever all that is, the particular details occurrate, and the imagination, the story, the entertainment as well. The medicine and the recreational drug, and then you find out the recreational drug is actually the medicine. But hey, is that always accurate, and so on. This is alongside again the line of writings, media, technology. Here's the Virgo stuff, entertainment, art. You've seen this art is not free that I've been seeing since like COVID. Saw it in the Netherlands, I see it in Israel. But this art is not free. Okay, so the artists are planning something. But you see the same thing in two countries, you understand some cultist people have money and they muggle with it, and artists won't see a thing. So you also have to watch, right? They gotta recall, they gotta do their own reset to see something from that. So if you have digital ID, there's like, oh, your art, you're this, you're that, you build a blog, you're this, you're that, you're making money, there's like digital ID. No ID for you. Why no ID for you? You say somebody said you did something or something. I think that they don't really say anything. But no, so you're not eligible to get all the money. It could be a couple of millions by then. Art is not free. All the blockchains, okay, we're gonna drop the digital ID. Okay, what are you gonna do about it? All the people investing in these blockchains and so on. So yes, can be not, but you have to take this into account. Yes, Pisces is also fraud, faking things, the slippery crime, but also leaking, imagining, telling the true story because you cannot actually deliver it through words, music, poetry, imagination, the recreational drug that actually heals you, or kills you. Okay, the medicine, the prescribed drug that's actually slow-mo execution, but also not. Okay, the drug that was prescribed for one thing and tends to another is very much okay. When I was taking amphetamines, I started processing my traumas. Then I moved to essential oils. So what is addiction, what is compassion, what is this, okay, all these things, those themes are going to be playing themselves out when the hunger is towards, or the fear is towards the Pisces pole, okay, all those malleable stuff, whereas we detach from having to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, for to relax a little bit. Hey, I don't really know all that. I don't really know what's actually true. This is the truth of right now. Is my experience of getting more comfortable with that malleable place. Whereas in Virgo, it's like, hey, this is not okay. But truth is also adaptable with Virgo. It's just happening in a different way, um, uh, more accurate, more adapting to the person that you're speaking with more consciously. With Pisces, you just genuine. It's like a rapport. It's like you become one with the person. With Virgo, you you get the details and you mirror the details more intentionally. I think that with Pisces. Pisces like is totally unaware of itself, but it can also be extremely and lucid, clear, in your face, aware of itself. So yes, this is what I have to say. And well, thank you, and I'll see you in next episode.